I'm just gonna get straight into it. Go straight into it. Not waste anyone's time today. This year, this year has been a huge year of the people demanding change, people demanding justice. In record numbers, we all came together and demanded change from these old ass regimes. We as a people, we all stood up together, one voice. And no, I'm not talking about politics. Get your head out the gutters, sir. I'm talking about sports fandomship in Chicago. Today, this year, 2020, we all came together. We were tired of Jim Boylan. We were tired of Garpax. And our voices were heard, and we got them the hell out of here. Sent them back in. My question to you guys is, what are our next cries? Because I sit here as a Chicago Bears fan, wondering, what the hell is my team? What are we? Are we a playoff team? Should we be looking to rebuild? Do I even like our coach? My voice was heard as a Chicago Bulls fan, and I demanded our voices be heard as Chicago Bears fan. The question I'm going to ask to Porky first. I'm going to go to Porky first. Porky, is Nagy and Pace on the hot seat this year? Are we thinking that we need a change in our Bears front office in order to get the ball moving? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think the rest of the season is going to dictate which one of the two will be on the hot seat. With
You said dictate.
Grow up, Professor. Come on. It's business time.
With Foles, the QB now, and Nagy making that executive decision mid-game, the ball is in his court. So really his fate is determined by how the rest of the season goes. Not so much record rise because it's kind of an interesting year, but the team dynamics.
What do you mean? What do you mean not much is record wise? We started off 5-1, and what are we, 5-4 now? What do you mean record wise? Like, isn't the record like usually part of it? Like, are you saying there's something else besides the record that can make you want to keep Nagy in pace and keep this going for you? Because do you really trust this regime with a new quarterback next year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's if Nagy ends up passing over offensive play calling, which we're going to see how that plays out. If he does make that decision, then that's a sign of growth, right? It's a sign of him saying, "Listen, I know there needs to be change, and let's make something happen." I discount Pace's first year with having a very crappy situation, right? To me, I see it as somebody said, "Oh, what if Harbaugh comes here?" I see it as the same thing if you bring in John Fox when you did, right? Just trying to shake up with some old Chicago juju and saying, "Oh, here it is. You got a Chicago win again," and it doesn't do anything, right? It's good for a small portion, right? So I'm giving Pace and Nagy about 1.5 years, 2 years of actual judgment when we can say, "Hey, look at the defense. The defense is solid." I'm great with that. Offense, it is up in question. So really, the rest of this year, because of Mitch's performance and what it seemed like there was potential, and there were other teams interested in Mitch, but since he jumped up to second to get him, that's why he's just so criticized. But I mean, there was a demand for Mitch by some people. I still wanted to get Watson. I still think that they should have just took Watson and went from there. But getting Mitch at what they did, I can't necessarily agree with it. I'm not inside that draft room.
I need to see these receipts. Where was the demand for Mitch? I need to see these receipts.
Well, there was other coaches after the fact. Once they were all over him, or organizations saying, so there was interest, right? Or maybe demand is a strong word, but there was definitely interest, right? And we saw flashes of what Mitch might be or could be, and it was just like, no.
We also
ain't
saw
there.
flashes of what he actually is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
DGB.
What we thought and what we actually got.
He is who we thought he would be. No, I'm just kidding. No. DGB, we rank like 29th, 28th offensively. And if you actually watch our games, it looks a lot worse than that. I watched the Jets on Monday Night Football against the Patriots, and they look like a more well-tuned offense than us. And they have Joe freaking Flacco. I don't know where that's coming from. I never thought that would come out of my mouth. DGB. Porky says, give Nagy and Pace the rest of this year. Do give him credit. Build a great defense. Doing well on defense. But our offense just is poo-poo. OBJ would love our offense.
Yeah, no, I
that
mean,
was an OBJ joke.
whole,
No, but go ahead.
No, the whole problem, yeah, I mean, that is obviously evident if you watch 5 minutes of a Bears game, is, yeah, the offense is so terribly inept. And they've really tried to kind of usher in anything that would help the Matt Nagy system, right? Having Nick Foles surrounded by people that know the system, kind of can't say, the training wheels are on the system, all that kind of shit. But Nick Foles just isn't getting it done also, right? So Nagy as a play caller then looks bad to worse almost, because the play on the field, isn't getting pulled off even with a guy that knows the system, kind of more inherently than Mitch. So unless the offense turns it around, even in the slightest, right? I mean, I watched, about half of the Bears game, turned it off to watch some of the other matchups, and then kind of like peeked back in here and there, but knew it was over, by just watching a small portion. So there's that part of it, right? Is firing Matt Nagy, not firing him. Like I said, I like him as a leader, of the team. But, unless there is some kind of changes there offensively, it's hard to say that you have faith that he'll be kept on, if not for monetary reasons of, paying another coach.
So you too, do you also have faith with Nagy and Pace with a new QB next year? Talking likes of Trey Lance, what's these kids' name? Mac Jones. Who are these? Like these are some. There's some studs in the league that's gonna be. Yeah, there's gonna be some pretty good studs next year. Do you trust him? Porky has the utmost confidence. Do you trust him?
Ryan Pace hasn't given me any kind of thing to be positive or trustful or faithful, I should say, about in drafting offensive players outside of some of the offensive linemen. I mean, when James Daniels is healthy, Cody Whitehair, when he's healthy, very good, right? He finds some of these guys, but like the top end talent, he is swung and missed on repeatedly. So to say, do you trust them in that position again for drafting the right guy? My faith isn't very, doesn't register very high. So I'd rather, if they're going to go that route, maybe have some trusted scouts, have their voices more empowered. Maybe that's the thing, as opposed to having it a Ryan Pace decision. But, we all know it doesn't work like that. So I'm a little scared.
All right, I love to see the optimism on this pod. You guys are super upbeat. I love that. I really am, and it's making me feel a little bit better about sticking with my Bears. I saved you last.
Can I say one thing?
Go for it.
If we're talking about when you kind of said the lead in with the Bulls, right? Kind of thing. Look at how you feel. Compare and contrast how you feel if Jim Boylan and the Pax and Garpax era was still there, or still, kind of in full swing. Like how you feel with them at this draft next week, comparatively now with AK and Mark Eversley and all that, and how we feel, a little bit more positive. So I kind of compare it that way,
100%.
where it kind of has a little bit of mirrored things. So
100%. That's why I asked that question, because I feel great about us going into the draft, and we will talk about the Chicago Bulls in just a little bit. Got to get the Bears out of the way, because the Bears. I wanted to end off the pod with positivity. All right. So we will talk about the Bulls draft in a little bit, but that's why I called it out, because I am putting a lot of that stock on us and saying that we got them out of got Boylan and car packs out of here. Yes, it looks like a brighter day. I'm wearing Chicago Bulls gear. I've been rock Chicago Bulls gear in forever. I am a happy Bulls fan. I'm a very, very displeased Bears fan, and there's a lot of us out there. And on this podcast, which is a Chicago podcast, we have somebody that refuses to rep Chicago Bears now. Truth, my guy.
Save the best for last.
No, I didn't save the best for last. I'm not calling it. No, that's not. I saved you for last because as not a Bears fan, you've already given up your fandom last week. You're on record for your truth take saying that the Bears will not make the playoffs and that you're on the Packers team and your Packers going to win a Super Bowl, blah, 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 blah.
Didn't say all that.
Aaron Rodgers is the greatest QB of all time, blah, blah, blah. You hate Chicago. You said all of this on our recorded podcast. Check it out. At what is, I don't even know your ad off the top, at Terrence or at Truth, whatever, at him because he's an asshole. Or just a bad fan. No, I'm just kidding. But last week, you said the Bears aren't in the playoffs. Are you watching Bears games still? Like, that was a hard game to watch, the Tennessee game. This is where all this frustration is coming from. I don't know if everyone watched the whole game, but we literally scored 3 points until the fourth quarter. Like, it was not a game. It just was not a game. And I feel so bad for our defense that we have to go out and put our offense out there on the field for them.
Wasting away.
Yes, it's just waste. It's a huge waste. I feel so bad. I feel so bad for A-Rob. I feel so bad for Darnell Mooney. Like I said last pod, these are two of the best these should be two of the best wide receiver combos in the league. But it's not.
Whoa, stretching.
Chill, my guy.
This is the same problem that said that he said that they're going to win the Super Bowl like last year.
Waivers?
Chill out.
But Truth, as a ex-Bears fan, as a Bears hater, what are your thoughts on the current Bears? Like, you're happy, right, that we're suffering? Like, do you think we should be rebuilding right now? I hate that R word. That's an R word that should not be in any sports fan's vocabulary.
We've been rebuilding, bro, and that's the thing. Like, personally, as a Chicago fan, I feel obligated to rock with the Chicago Bears, rock with the Chicago Bulls, you know? But then it's just like that repeated, like, year-to-year consistency of just being trash. We're trash. And it starts from management. We've talked about this many times over and over and over again. I have an issue with pace, mostly because of like the picks that we're picking up, like the people that we've missed already. And then we're being optimistic about the pick for next year or the draft picks for next year. And like people are saying like, oh, you know, if pace sticks around, then obviously the Bears are going to go for a QB. Like, no shit. Like, yeah, obviously we need a QB. Is he going to pick the right one? Who knows? Even if he does, let's go down the ladder a little bit, and we go to Nagy or whatever. And our defense is phenomenal, but we go to Nagy and how like his play calling. Even if we get, you know, like a number one QB, who's that one kid that you're looking at, Professor, that you said would be a good fit for us?
Justin Fields, Trey Lance, like I said, Nagy.
Fields. Like, let's say we got Fields, and he's playing under the playbook with Nagy. You know, like. It's probably not a good design for him, you know, and he's probably not going to want to. He's not going to feel motivated to play for the Bears. That's a losing team that clearly doesn't have an offense that knows how to run shit. You know, I think the playbook is just old and just it's just played out. It's a played out playbook, and the league knows our plays, bro. So and it's not going to work.
So I want to scale this.
It's a waste of talent coming to our city, to our team. You know, until we get another coach, or. I think it's Nagy, man. It's Nagy and a combination of pace, honestly. And we're going to see the same thing until those guys get out of here, just like Chicago Bulls did, man.
Porky, what were you about to say?
All right, so I'm going to scale this back in a few different directions, okay? The Cubs didn't do good until the ownership changed hands because Wrigley had no intention of doing anything because people were going to Wrigley because of Wrigley. Once the ownership changed, then things happen. On the south side of Chicago, I thought when you were talking about people have spoken, and you said you're not talking about politics, I was like, wait a minute. On the south side of Chicago, you went from one old white man to another old white man, you know? Actually, no, they're Hispanic, but The point of it is that Reinsdorf, he put them in this very stupid position for what the team is. So you look at the ownership, and now they need to back it. The entire organization needs to back that decision now. Okay. The Bulls, I have no idea what made Reinsdorf actually do the right thing. So that's a whole special caveat we can go.
It was us.
With the Bears,
Not selling out.
yeah, with the Bears, it's so hard now because you brought in Pace. That it was like, okay, fresh idea, right? I remember when he first came in, it was like, oh, we got Nagy, So now they're both competing against each other for that matter. They're both trying to make a name, So with bringing in Foles, the idea was Pace thinking, all right, Nick is finally going to pay out. All right, we'll get you a backup quarterback. And Nagy's like, no, I'm going to sneak you in there. I don't know if that's who he really wanted, but maybe that's what he was able to say. All right, I got a career secondary quarterback, and let's throw him in there. I think it's helping Nagy for the sake of Foles calling him out, and it's like them bringing fresh perspective. But so with all of that, the McCaskies need to become hands-off, plain and simple. I think they have too much input in a lot of stuff. You just need to shut up. You own the team. Let them make the decisions and go from there.
Hey, you put billions of dollars into this piece of capital. Don't do anything with it. Be as hands off as possible.
Yeah, you hire the money to make it run.
Hey, yeah, you're right. You got a point.
That's why Mark Cuban over on Shark Tank hiring other businesses to make him more money. He ain't trying to do that in a hands-on grind,
Fact.
Yeah, no, and I think kind of leading to some of your points there, in terms of bringing in the right people, and the Bulls, why did they maybe change, from make the change finally, right? And I think it kind of comes down to more of the money thing. I mean, with the Cubs, Wrigley and all that, people packed the stadium every game, so it was like it wasn't even if they had a bad product and all that, like there were years they definitely spent money, but even if they had a bad product, they'd be selling out. Bulls had that run for a long time since MJ left, right? And now we've just seen where we have had or haven't had the sellouts as much. So it's like, there was that increased pressure with the Bears, like, it's the only football team in town, right? Beloved by damn near everybody. So it's like, it would take a significant change to either, put in some people that maybe are more football minded, at the top, and right now it's Michael McCaskey, which, he's been around the game for forever, but that doesn't mean he necessarily knows the game very well. Right. And he's kind of in that leadership level. Maybe bring in some other people that can be more of a sharp football mind, kind of bring things around like the Bulls are doing with, more scouting and advanced analytics like the Cubs did, just bring things to this century. And maybe that's what the Bears are missing.
That shouldn't be such a hard ask. Hey,
right?
You want to bring things just to this century?
Dude, it shouldn't be, but like Jay brought up right after I made my comment, like you brought up the Cubs and their management, how long it took them to get it. Like we're talking about the Cubs. It took them 100 years, dude, before they got another championship.
We'll see.
I'm not waiting that long, and I won't be alive that long for the Chicago Bears to turn it around.
We're gonna blink. It's gonna be 40 years, dude. Last Super Bowl.
So, how much more of this pain can you guys tolerate? Because I'm not doing it no more. Like, I feel I'm still around because I live in Chicago, but
yeah, you already jumped off the bag. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear you threatening your fandomship to the Chicago Bears anymore. All right, you already jumped off. Before we move on, I just want to compliment at least the right-hand side of your screen. Terrence, yours look like a little shadow. Y'all, the No Shave Novembers are going absolutely perfect. December, I need to just see stashes from both of y'all because they look to be starting to get epic.
Yeah, I gotta shave. The rest of
handlebars
this stands out a little
more.
The
handlebar.
Oh, man.
That's what we need to see.
Yeah, I rocked some real nice mutton chop sideburns for a day and a half, and that was about the most that I could hack it. And I was like, all right, now I gotta shave that, but I kept the mustache. So
we're about to go into full lockdown. So you go for. Hey, we're about to see pork chop with.
I just might shave my head again.
We're about to go full lockdown again. Let's see.
Get it, bro. Let's go, Porky.
I actually, my beard was extremely long, and I was worried that I needed to shave it, or my wife might throw me out of the house for looking too bummy.
Yeah, but I'll be home now. So
Now we got Minnesota coming up prime time again. Why do they keep giving us prime time games, man? This shit's embarrassing. Like shit.
And Kirk Cousins on prime time on the other side of the coin for this, which
goodness is gonna be awful.
boo boo.
Yeah, this is gonna be a shit show. Hopefully in our favor. I don't know, but what do you
We're
guys?
such a great team, though. What do you mean? We deserve to be on prime time, right? What
Shut
you
up.
talking about, bro?
Shut up.
Come
I
on.
wouldn't stop
Like,
inviting you, bro.
Come on, man.
Can,
Pick a
do we have a
side.
mute button on him?
Thank
Can
you.
we just mute it?
Pick a
I'm gonna have to get a mute button. I'm not
Pretty sure that's a Zoom function. Yeah.
No,
All
I'm
right,
ready for this
so-
game. I'm ready for this game now. Should be up
You
there.
ready for this game? What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Are we going 5-5? Like Minnesota's actually coming off with 2 good wins. They beat the Packers, something we haven't been able to do in a minute. They actually beat the
Mhm.
Packers. Dalvin Cook is looking like a straight dominant beast. Our run defense is pretty much our only weakness on defense. AJ Brown was just a beast of a man against us.
Yeah.
I think that's an outlier, but we'll see. I noticed
How are we not mentioning though Derrick Henry not having a Derrick Henry game? Like,
Yep.
so you're talking all
That's
this stuff
true.
about Cook. Like Derrick Henry is a man of
The
men.
only
like,
problem
he
with
is
that, I
ridiculous.
was gonna say that, but we saw Indianapolis shut them down on Thursday
Completely
night. That's
shut
the
them down.
only, and he
Another
got like
good defense.
95
That
yards.
is another good defense.
Yeah, it's another good defense. So and AJ Brown was shut down in that game too. So again, I can't. I don't know. I don't really know how to rate that one. I don't know if I think the Tennessee Titans might just be better than what or worse than what everyone thought. Low-key, I think everyone had them a little hyped up because they went on that undefeated streak for a little bit, but they look like trash.
Well, I think also losing Taylor Lewan,
That-
their
that's
left
true.
tackle,
That's true. That's true.
for the year was a big deal because
That's
he's one of the best in the league.
He is.
Also.
That's true. That is
But-
noticeable.
I mean, with the Bears, like that was a bigger weakness heading into it, was kind of bigger chunk plays to running backs, and they largely held Derrick Henry in control. So I mean, with Dalvin, different type of runner, different scheme too, with like more of that zone. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I'm excited to see, or more intrigued. Maybe not excited because they might get burned, but the wide receiver cornerback matchups. You know, that'll be something to watch on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson and Thielen coming into town. Yeah, we'll see how they
Right.
they
And on the other side,
shut down a
and
little
on the other side with Minnesota, you know, their cornerbacks have been getting a lot of hell, you know, this season because they've given up so much yards versus the Bears receivers. But the last couple of weeks, Minnesota's defense hasn't looked as bad. So that's kind of, the wide receiver cornerbacks on both teams, both sides of the ball will be interesting.
I'm excited to see people's names that I recognize on the back of an offensive line for the Bears. That's a good sign this week as well.
Yeah, usually that helps something, right?
All right, so this is kind of a hard game because, like you said, Minnesota has gotten better defensively, and even if they weren't, it's the Bears' offense. So this is a hard one to call. It's at our house, and we are actually underdogs in this game. The Vikings are favored to actually win, despite everything, and it's kind of crazy. I'm still going with Chicago because I think our defense can hold us up enough against Kirk Cousins, and it's also Kirk Cousins, and he is complete trash. Yo, hold on. Nick Foles or Kirk Cousins?
Oof. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Okay, this is the perfect segue though of what I was about to say. Why I was going to take the Bears tonight, because Nick Foles always plays out when there's pressure.
Okay. So
when you look at big time moments and throughout Nick Foles' career, when he's come in and why he's been a career journeyman and a valued secondary QB, emphasis on secondary QB is because when the back's up against the wall, this guy comes out and he's a leader. He is.
Right.
He just doesn't have what it takes to sustain the whole entire year. I don't believe, I think he gets bored truly. Like watching I think Nick Foles just gets bored of playing. And then, so like if you put him at the second half and he's like, all right, we got competition, let's go.
I can't tell if that was extreme sarcasm or what. That's what boredom looks like.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna get rocked behind this line. Like this is pointless,
Right.
So, but when there's like something to play for, Nick Foles is. So I'm taking them at prime time for sure.
All right. All right. All right. That was a truth take from I'm just kidding.
Hey, dude, I was about to say, bro, it should be a breakout game for Big Dick Nick, but like you said, Minnesota's defense is on an incline as far as the receivers, so the receivers should be breaking out today or on Monday too. But Nick's got to get it to them, and the receivers have to run the routes correctly and like just burn the other guys. But what they have that we don't is a Dalvin Cook. And I know we have a great run defense. We have a great defense, period. But if they're focusing on the throw, which
we need to focus on Cook. Cook is their offense.
they're gonna,
Cook
there's not going to be any offense from the throw game on both sides. But they have a Dalvin Cook, and we don't even have Montgomery right now.
So
he didn't practice today, so that's not looking too good. So it's going to be a low scoring game.
Dub or not?
Just lower for us.
Ooh, you're calling an L?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. And it ain't because of Captain Kirk. That's for damn sure, because he's just as boo-boo as Mitch and Foles, like fused.
All right, DCB.
So
Dub or L? What do we
No.
got?
I'm gonna hold my nose and I'm gonna say it's a win only because I just looked up some of these stats when I was saying earlier with the Kirk Cousins.
Hit us with the stats. Hold on. Hit us with the stats, White Chocolate. Go, buddy, go.
So, just against
my
winning
favorite parts.
Kirk Cousins against winning teams as a starter.
Stats are on our side. Numbers never lie. The Bears are going to get this dub. Darnell Mooney and Nick Foles breakout game. I'm calling it right now. Calling it right now. We'll see. Hopefully, I'm happy.
Just to let you know.
And I'm not asking dumb questions like should Nagy
Jimmy Graham, Cole Kmet, because against the Vikings defense against tight ends also is not good.
Very true.
Jimmy, Darnell Mooney breakout game. Professor actually didn't save that live. He actually says that on a loop that he inserts in our podcast at some random point.
It's bound to hit.
It's bound to hit. My guy he's like top 5 in like air yards in the league. He's got to be like, it's gonna hit. It's gonna connect one of these times. But I will say it until it happens. And when I do, you bet your ass off. I'm gonna clip that and put that at all our socials and be like, yeah, I called that shit. Watch. But on to what else do we want to talk about? Hold on one sec. We did the Bears. We're running out of time here. We're getting close on time. I did want to talk about the Bulls though, because the draft is coming up. Is that next week or 2 weeks?
Next week.
Next week. Right? I do want to talk about the Bulls real quick.
Wednesday.
Because trading Zach LaVine has popped up in the rumors. Heard Mavs. I've heard Pelicans. Thoughts there? Any quick thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and possibly trading? Because if we trade him to the Mavs, it sounds like it's going to be mainly for a pick or Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah, maybe, for like ball.
Maybe
Trade
even
up for
Curry.
ball.
We might get Curry. I would love a Curry on our team. Just a little bit of the wrong Curry, but hey, thoughts here on this draft, guys?
No, I mean, like we kind of touched on, like I'm just feeling positive about it, but there's so many possibilities, in which way they could go that it's like I honestly have no idea.
Hold on one second.
And that's exciting. But
we know nothing. They said like Chicago, nothing is leaked
dark.
out. Like we barely get rumors. Like I'm sure these rumors that have come out are complete BS, but we've heard nothing. I just wanted to add that to your point. But go ahead, DB or DG.
Yeah, but then but also with that too is I think there's I'd have to look it up for sure. But there was something the other day I was reading where it said without having the deal like certified for the next coming year, right, with the Players Association and all that in the league, that there could be, obviously there's no trades. There's, none of that happening before the draft. So it's like, I don't know. It might be another thing where it's like now, once they do ratify all this, I don't know if it has been yet, I don't think. But once they do, like, yeah, if that like is gonna open up the floodgates, but I don't know. As a Bulls fan, I'm just excited that things are possible and they have pieces that have some value to get creative.
You guys, Porky, Truth, you guys expecting anything big from the Bulls to happen? A trade up in the draft? I know we were talking to LaMelo Ball. No, we were talking to him last week. We got number 4 in the pick, so hey, he might fall to us. We'll see. But any hype, any excitement?
I'm hyped for sure. Yeah, because this is an actual true like rebuild, especially if we're like shipping out dudes like Levine or like going up for a draft pick, but like shipping out Levine for a Ball or LaMelo Ball. Like, I don't know,
No,
but
it wouldn't be for LaMelo Ball. It would be for future
like,
first round. It would be a future. No, not a future. It would be if it was to Dallas. It'd be for they'd have the number 18th pick. I think they have it in.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it would be that plus like Tim Hardaway or Seth Curry or something like that. Or
right.
If it was to the Pelicans, it'd be for like Drew Holiday or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's you're getting. You're not going to get a 1-for-1 for Zach Levine. It's going to be either multiple pieces or a piece and a draft. So
which I'm cool with. I'm optimistic about that because those are everyone uses named are dudes that you can actually build around, build like a solid squad around from like either whether they're a bench player or a starting lineup. Like Steph Curry, like he's a shooter, and we don't have like that true shooter like that out there or that true.
I'm hoping Kobe becomes that, but yeah, I feel you.
He should, I mean, he's been here for what? This is his 3rd year.
Yeah.
Would be his 3rd year.
No, second.
Yeah, so I mean, hopefully it's developed a little bit, but like we're still in the dark just so we don't know. But I feel like we're going to build up.
I love a point guard like Drew Holiday, so Kobe could move to the 2.
Holiday's good.
Like I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that. But if you had to choose, as a Chicago fan, to extend A-Rob or to keep Zach Levine, which one are you doing?
Extending A-Rob.
I would agree 100% on that.
Yeah, we need
A-Rob for
sure. We need A-Rob.
Yo, I'm a big Zach Levine fan, man. Like, yo, we had a heart-to-heart, man. About, my shit was busted up. So, he told me stay in there. 1 month post surgery, you'll be good.
Hey.
And I mean, he's got world-class doctors in rehab. I had whatever Blue Cross Blue Shield covered, but it worked. Okay?
I forgot about that. You actually did have a heart-to-heart with the man.
Yeah, no,
literally.
But like he's a good player, but I feel like in terms of like replaceable or not, Allen Robinson just is a little bit more valuable. I think.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I agree. I think that with Levine, right? Like everybody here knows my stance on Levine, but his ceiling is there, right? And especially in basketball, that system really has to fit you so much more than any other sport. And now he's a decent cost controlled person, so I'd say ship him off.
I'm going to go with the best answer, and that is C, all of the above. We need to keep them all. Nothing but love for A-Rob and Zach Levine. Yeah, we gave it.
Wow.
I didn't know that was an option, man.
You're a sellout, bro.
See, but I do think though, I think that this draft though, and whatever they do, I'm most excited for because we don't know what direction the Bulls are going to go. And finally, based off of whatever they decide to do, we're going to have a direction of what the team is going to look like and what is going to happen. And that is Christmas Day right there, baby.
All right.
Sounds like we'll have a new playbook. Let's get some West Coast dudes out here on this side, man. Like,
hey,
for real. Like,
Westbrook is available for trade. Would you guys like Russell Westbrook on the team?
That contract? Ooh, boy.
Sounds
we were having a serious discussion here.
Sounds like Paul George is available too. Come on now, Paul George.
Ooh, I'm going on that. I'd rather have Russell.
No.
I'm all right.
Have him come to Chicago or we're going to Miami.
Oh my gosh. Wow, no, stop it, please. Edit that out. Where's that mute button?
Playoff PG, like get out of here. That dude, I don't know. He couldn't get it done with Leonard. Like you have Kawhi Leonard on your team, man. You're bombing.
My question, this question, before we end it off real quick, because we're going to end it off with He's on Fire, since all 4 of us are here. But before we go to He's on Fire, this is a side asterisk note that I noticed on Sunday Night Football and Thursday Night Football. So black people pretty much run the league. The culture runs the league, right? The culture, everything's about the culture. Why is Carrie Underwood still doing the Sunday Night Football intro? Where is little baby? Where is little baby? Where is where's Roddy Rich? Why is Jay-Z not using his influence to us? Now I know we got the Weekend for a halftime show. Like that's cool. Like whatever. That's
trash. That man's garbage.
That was hilarious. Scott said that the other day, and I just laughed. He's like, "I'm serious, bro."
Dude, you got your ear. You're the youngest of us here. You are the one with the.
I'm about to put little baby on there, bro. I need little baby.
What's going on with our people, bro?
I mean, it's like you said. Well, the dudes that are playing the ball aren't the one that's running the game.
I don't know why. Like I said to you, you're the one with the ears to the street. I don't understand why little baby isn't doing. Like we had the Thursday night football preview. I don't know if you guys were watching that, but it was some country ass shit. We got Ryan Tannehill versus Philip Rivers.
Listen, I sent this in the group message.
Like, what the
I sent this in our fantasy group message. I said, remember when the NFL pretended like they cared and they had Alicia Keys starting off? Yeah. Nobody said anything, but I'm like, yeah, you guys know it's the truth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And they were in Tennessee. Yeah. Music City, Nashville. Home of
get Carrie Underwood the hell out of here, man. I'm sorry. We need some culture. We need some freshness on Sunday.
Well, yeah. Did you see the Weekend?
Yeah, we just talked about
halftime.
We just talked about Pork Chop said he's trash. But Pork Chop thinks everyone's trash.
That's a lie.
I mean, fair, but no.
There's a lot of people. I was giving props to Alicia. I said you could have put Alicia Keys in there all day, every day. I would have been happy. But no, the Weekend. Come on now, this man. That was his popularity, a weekend, and that was it. Like, get off.
Well, you're not putting that on. I can't let you put that on Weekend's name. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Leave it on there so the people that mess with my thought know the truth.
That ain't no truth.
That
ain't no truth. Come on now.
So we got all four of us here. Let's do it. Let's bring it. He's on fire. He is on fire. This is how we end off our pods when all four of us are here because we are males, we have to be competitive. Who carried this pod? Whose back is hurting right now because you did nothing but drop hot fire? Remember, the rules, you cannot vote for yourself. And if you do win He's on Fire, you get a little bit of time at the end of the pod. Say whatever the hell you want, and it's off right. So I'm going to start with you, Truth. Tell the truth. Who's on fire?
I'm gonna have to give it to you, Professor.
Oh, let's go!
You're on fire.
Let's go!
You're on fire. Solely because you are the only purely optimistic person for the Bears, and you still continuously to do it. Year after year, day after day, week after week. I love that. Somebody's got to do it. So you're on fire.
Thank you. Pork Chop, who you got on fire? Who's on fire?
Let's get the fire extinguisher and cool you down a little bit because the way you were talking about the Bears was not very accurate. I think that was a loaded statement by Truth from the Green Bay fan saying the Chicago fan that's most optimistic that was throwing shade at the Bears. So I'm going to completely discount that and go to the StatMan that pulled up the truth of Kirk Cousins in the kryptonite and sees the cryptic nature of Chicago and what we go through for DGB right there.
DGB. StatMan, who you got?
All right, so...
Wait a minute, when does StatMan win every time, though?
No.
This guy's going to be on fire every week.
Bring your game up, bro.
No fun.
That is not my job. All right, I don't get paid for that in this pod.
Nah. Okay, so yeah, it wouldn't be fun to just do all stats all the time, right? And that's why we don't really do that. But sometimes, they're necessary.
Sometimes.
But for me, for this one, obviously I can't vote for myself, but I am going to go for Professor because you linked up this show nicely, right? Weaving the comparisons here between the Bulls and Bears regimes, kind of the Bears optimism, the Bulls optimism. Love it. So to you today, sir, I want you to have your moment in the sun.
I don't know what to say. This is the I wasn't expecting this.
Motherfucker pulls out a piece of paper.
I will
so
those notes. You notice how he didn't cast his vote. He was gonna vote for DGB, but he didn't want to split the time. So he's like, nobody asked me. Let's just go on and end this.
Go ahead and let's get this done. Honestly, I was not expecting this. So let me go bring up my phone real quick. Hold on one second. Was not expecting this. I would like to thank all the
Talk
viewers
about
out there.
PS1 pain.
Wait,
Bring that up.
what'd you say?
Bring that up to the viewers. You're paying a little bit.
Yeah, I was actually about to. I was
Speak
actually
on
just
it.
thinking
Speak
about it.
on
Listen, my pain this week, I full tilted over the fact that corporations like to play with our emotions. They feel like they own us. They feel like they can dangle beautiful things in front of our face and not provide enough inventory for everyone to enjoy. I am talking directly to you, PlayStation, as I, for the last year and a half, have been super excited to get my hands on a PlayStation 5, and I don't think this damn thing exists, because I know zero people who play it, who have it, who was able to buy it. I know zero, and you know how many gamers I know? I know a lot of gamers. I am upset.
T-Pain got one for free.
What are you trying to do to me, man?
They put his name on
I
it.
don't like how
big
big corporations are changing. Listen. I don't like how big corporations are changing in the fact that if you don't have clout, you don't. They're turning clout into credit. That's what they're doing right before our very eyes. If you don't have followers, if you don't have a clout, you can't have good things in life. And I'm calling out people like PlayStation, like Microsoft and Xbox for doing just that. We as a people need to stand up and we need to demand better. We got Trump the hell out of here. Let's get these major corporations the hell out of here because they cannot provide enough for the people. And that is the end of my rant. That's all I had to say.
He's on fire.
He's on fire.
Professor was talking about clout, not chlamydia, so just be aware.
Oh, yeah, I'm not on fire there. No. Listen, hey, thank you guys for rocking with us for DaSquad Pod. DaSquad Pod number 22. Hey, we're number 20. Is it 22? Yeah, it's 22. Squad Pod number 22. Listen, I would say go follow us on our socials, but we're still trying to figure out why the hell we're on social media in the first place. So, hey, if you want to laugh at some of the stuff we put up there, feel free to do so. I know you enjoyed this because it's the end of the pod and you got all the way here. So might as well drop a like and subscribe to us as well, too. Anything else you guys got to say before we head out? No?
I'm good.
J. Cole, hurry up and drop, please. Everyone is dropping albums. We need you to drop to save 2020. Please. That's all I got to say. I'm done.
I think we got some pretty big drops today, actually. I think we got Uzi and Future. I think we got St. John dropping tonight. Some pretty decent stuff. So
like I said,
J. Cole, I had coffee and oatmeal this morning. Talk about a major drop.
I was about to say, J. Cole, please come. Like I said, please save us. We got some names.
To all my millennials out there.
Right. All right. Good shit. Thank you for guys rocking with us. We appreciate you guys.